What's good, my people? I'm glad to make another video for you guys. UFC Freedom 250 weigh-ins just ended. I'm excited to go over the recap and also some of my best bets. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Make sure to stay to the end for all my best bets. For the first fight of the night, we have Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia, and both fighters did come into the fight and made weight, so everything was all good here. Now, something that was very interesting with the weigh-ins is that at the end of the weigh-ins, they actually announced that Diego Lopez is officially the backup fighter for the main event. And as you can see, he did weigh in at 154 after weighing in at 146. I think it's pretty crazy that here he has a chance of getting another title shot, even though both fighters are still good and still good to go. I think it's just crazy that overall they considered him to fight for the lightweight title undisputed. I think that's pretty insane. So the UFC has a lot of respect for Diego Lopez, and here they gave him another amazing opportunity, but here he'll still be fighting Steve Garcia. Here on the scale, we have Diego Lopez. This is the picture from whenever he made 146 for his fight against Steve Garcia. He looks to be in very good shape coming in on the scale. And overall, this fight has to be the best fight to ever start a card. Now, here's Diego at 154. Here, they let him use his hat, his jacket, and his pants to make the weight, which I never seen done before. But hey, you know, just like he says, it is what it is. He was able to make the weight and show up as the backup for this fight in the main event, which, of course, unless something happens between now and tomorrow, he won't be able to have the opportunity to do it. But it's pretty cool, like I said, that he actually was considered for it. Steve Garcia here in this fight, he came into this fight in very good shape. And all week, just going off of Steve Garcia's vibes, you can tell he's super excited for this opportunity to represent his country. I think Steve is a very good fighter. I just think that this is a big competition jump for him. But he did look locked in and look very good on the scale. Here's a respectable face-off. Both guys, you know, kind of sizing each other up. Both guys, I know, are both ready for a war in this fight. They're going to both give it their all. I'm going to stick with my initial pick, of course, of Diego Lopez. I feel like I'm pretty confident in it. I feel like he can get it done just because he overall is just a more skilled fighter. And me personally, I feel like he's just more younger, of course. He's more durable. And overall, you know, he has a wrestling advantage here. He can use his BJJ skills to even get a submission in this fight. So give me Diego Lopez, and man, am I excited for this one. Next up, we have Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins. Both fighters come in at the same exact weight of 186. And nothing out of the normal here for either fighter. Both fighters made weight, look both ready to go, and I'm going to show you both of them on the scale. Even though I'm not a fan of Bo Nickel, and I think he's a little bit too cocky for his resume, I feel like the UFC has definitely fed him the bottom of the barrel fighters. You know, a lot of the fighters that he's fought are no longer in the UFC, so, I mean, he's not really the best of the best, even though he talks like he is. But overall, he does look ready to go and motivated for this fight. Of course, he's friends with Trump, so, you know, he was given this spot on this card. But even though he's Donald Trump's golfing buddy, I think that here he has a very bad stylistic matchup and an experienced guy like Kyle Dawkins to go against. So it's a very tough test for him. Here's Kyle Dawkins coming in. He is the underdog here in this fight at plus 250. And as an underdog, I really like him in this fight because he has more experience. Of course, he's faced the more dangerous guys. He's also a southpaw, so overall, it's just a difficult stylistic matchup for Bo Nickel. It's like a RDR 2.0. Let's say even if Bo wins, I mean, it's definitely possible, but I really see the value in Kyle Dawkins in this fight. I feel like here he's super motivated, and ever since he's came back to the UFC, he's looked unstoppable, getting 2 finishes in under a minute. Here's the face-off here between both fighters. Kyle Dawkins does have the slight height advantage in this fight. If he's able to fend off the wrestling of Bo Nickel and keep it on the feet, I feel like he has the advantage. Right now, he is the one that's on the winning streak, on the finishing streak, and is just looking good overall. His career has turned around since coming back to the UFC, and since being cut from the UFC, he's looked very good against the regional competition, which is why he earned a spot back on the UFC roster. So here, I know majority of people have their money on Bo Nickel, but I would not even put a penny on him. I like Kyle Dawkins in this spot. I'm riding with Kyle Dawkins, so give me Kyle Dawkins to win this fight. And this is just another fight I'm excited to watch. Next up, we have another banger. Because next up is Mauricio Rufy versus Michael Chandler. Now, I 100% expect for Michael Chandler to come out here and press the pressure and definitely give Rufy a fight. He's not going to be patient or just try to wrestle him or try to win a decision here. He's going to try to put Rufy's lights out. Now, Rufy's losses have come by knockout, so it definitely is something that's not out of the realm. But with Chandler's age and just his durability not showing as much recently, I feel like here is definitely a spot where Rufy will be able to get a knockout. Even if Chandler does come rushing in, and here he tries to get a knockout on Mauricio Rufy by being aggressive, Mauricio Rufy is very good off the back foot, and here he can step back and land a knockout shot. Here's Rufy on the scale. He looks to be in very good shape coming into this fight, and is just steaming with confidence. Here, he'll be the younger and faster striker and more dangerous with more power on the feet. Michael Chandler's advantage here is, of course, going to be the wrestling, but Michael Chandler, honestly, at the age of 41, I don't think he has 15 minutes of control time. Now, one thing you can never say about Michael Chandler, even at the age of 41, is that he is not ever in bad shape. This guy all around is always in good shape, and here in this fight, he looks completely locked in and ready to go. I just feel like even though he comes into this fight in very good shape, as he always does, it's going to be very difficult to come in to the zone of Rufy and be durable enough to take his shots. Now, in the face-offs, you can see Rufy trying to fill out the distance. He's been filling it out every time he gets a face-off with Michael Chandler. And I feel like against Chandler, he can catch him with that exact shot right to the chin. A left hook can drop Chandler as he comes in aggressive. As an American, of course, I'm going to go ahead and root for Chandler, because, of course, we want to see the Americans win on this card. But I just think this is a terrible stylistic matchup for him. Everybody kind of goes back to the BSD fight and kind of compares it to this matchup, but BSD is a younger fighter who is younger and more durable, and he honestly does also have a different style than Michael Chandler. So this is a fight that overall I think is a good spot for Rufy to get his spot more into the rankings and defeat a guy like Michael Chandler. But once again, we have a banger on the White House lawn, and I'm excited for it. Next up, we're at heavyweight. Josh Hokett comes in at 231 and Derek Lewis comes in at 265. Both fighters are finishers, and here we're destined to have a finish happen in this heavyweight bout. Now, if Hokett comes out in this fight and just wants to sit in the pocket with Derek Lewis, he 100% can get caught, but I feel like that's honestly Derek Lewis' only path to victory. Because Hokett does have the speed advantage, he also has a very tremendous wrestling advantage. He also, in this fight, is going to be the younger fighter with the cardio advantage. And in this fight, he'll overall be the more durable fighter. But you can see here, with Derek Lewis even being the most oldest guy on this entire card, he looks to come into this fight very locked in and in good shape. He did have some visible abs, as you can see, even though he went in at 265. So he's very locked in, ready for this fight. And he said his back feels good coming into it. So, we might get a prime Derek Lewis performance. He promises his fans that he's going to deliver in this fight. So, let's see what happens. Now, at this morning weigh-ins, Josh Hokett was the last one to come weigh in, as he took forever. He took forever to come in. And whenever he came in, he only came in at 231. So, I don't know what took him so long. I don't know if it was the delay coming into the building or whatever the fuck. But this guy, he came in with some vomit on his chest and all this extra stuff coming in, walking in kind of crazy. So, another performance by Josh Hokett. He came into the weigh-ins this morning again with the nervous acting like he's very nervous for this fight. But in the face-offs, he gets right in the face of Derek Lewis. The Incredible Hulk comes out, and he's very aggressive toward Derek Lewis, talking shit. These guys had to be separated by the security guards. So this overall was the most intense face-off throughout the ceremonial weigh-ins. But I feel like Josh Hokett will be able to get Derek Lewis biting on his feints, threatening the wrestling a little bit, and be able to use a lot of his striking that way and open Derek Lewis that way. Eventually, I feel like he gets him to the ground where he stays on top and just exhausts Derek Lewis and is able to get a finish. But man, do we have a good heavyweight fight here. For the featured fight of UFC Freedom 250, we have Sean O'Malley versus Amin Sahabi. Both of these fighters came in, of course, making weight like every other fighter on this card. Sean O'Malley comes in at 135.5, with Amin Zahabi coming in at 135. This is a huge step up in competition for Amin Zahabi and a huge step down in competition for a guy like Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley will have a clear striking advantage here, and Zahabi really isn't a grappler or wrestler, so Unless he becomes a Marab out of nowhere, he's not going to be able to get down a guy like Sean O'Malley and hold him down. So overall, I feel like this is a striker versus striker battle. And here, Sean O'Malley has a clear advantage. I mean, he's coming off of a win to Song Yadong, and he's facing a guy like Amin Zahabi next. This is a clear spot where he should definitely win. Here's Ariel Helwani coming to this fight, weighing in at 135. Throughout the fight camp, he has been very motivated, and he was the one to call out Sean O'Malley. So he feels like he's very confident and has a game plan here, but I feel like his game plan isn't going to work because he's 38 years old, he has less experience, and he's a striker. Here's Sean O'Malley, one of the best strikers in the UFC, very good at keeping the distance and, picking apart his opponents from the outside. Is very big for this weight class. Here in an American versus Canadian matchup, I feel like here he's going to put on for America and just have a huge showcase. In these spots against this level of competition, he always shows up, so I'm excited to see what he brings to this show. Here's the face-offs. Both guys are locked in. All week, Sean O'Malley has been saying he promises that he's going to get a knockout. So, he can definitely get it done because Zahabi has been hurt his last couple of fights and has been dropped, but was able to recover. But Sean O'Malley does have different power from his last two opponents and is more primed. So once again, I like the younger, stronger, faster guy here. Give me Sean O'Malley, the former champion, to be able to defeat Amin Zahabi. Co-main event of the evening for the interim heavyweight title bout, we have Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Here in this fight, Alex Pereira is the one to come up to the heavyweight division, but here in this fight, he actually came in 3 pounds heavier than Cyril Gane. Alex comes in weighing in at 251, with Cyril Gane coming in at 248. Both fighters look super strong and in good shape coming into these fights. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weigh-ins. Alex comes into this fight looking filled in, of course. Coming up, this will be his third weight class in the UFC, as he started off at middleweight, got a championship there, light heavyweight, got a championship there, and now he attempts to make history to be the first 3-time division champion. Overall, in this fight, I'm 100% rooting for Alex Pereira, as here I hope he's able to make history and able to take the interim belt. Because, let's be honest, we've seen this guy Gane get too many title shots. Of course, at heavyweight. Now, Cyril Gane, as always, comes to this fight in very good shape. He is one of the few heavyweights that comes into all his fights shredded with abs and everything like that. So, very tremendous athlete. Here, if he's able to utilize his footwork and not stay in one spot in front of Alex Pereira, I feel like he definitely has a chance. But Cyril Gane at heavyweight is in very good shape. Now here into this fight, Alex Pereira comes into the face-offs as a fan favorite. He is the guy with all the momentum as he tries to make history here in this fight. And I feel like at heavyweight, Cyril Gane is going to be actually one of the most toughest tests for him. So here, he has a good spot to prove that he hangs with the heavyweights. Up next, if he does win this fight, the winner of this fight gets to go against Tom Aspinall, and that's another excite I'm super excited for. I'm going to stick with my initial pick of Cyril Gane being able to get it done here in this fight, but overall, I am 100% rooting for Alex Pereira as he attempts to make history on this historical card. Now, we've made it to the main event of the evening, Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and break this down. For the weigh-ins, both fighters come in at championship weight. Ilia Topuria makes 155, and so does Justin Gaethje. Very exciting fight with two guys who are going to bring the fight, and this is a fight that honestly I don't see going the distance at all. Both guys come into this fight with knockout power, but Justin Gaethje honestly hasn't got a knockout in a long time. Ilia Topuria, I feel like, is the better fighter all around when the striking and in the grappling. And every single time that Justin has fought for the undisputed championship, he hasn't been able to accomplish it, as he is one of the best fighters in this division, but not the best. Ilia at 155 looks like a complete monster, as he's not having to cut as much weight. He's completely filled in and looks to be in tremendous shape. He looks like a true champion, and here I feel like he'll display his championship class and will be able to make easy work of Justin Gaethje. Even though I'm a Justin Gaethje fan. Justin Gaethje did come in and make the championship weight, as I mentioned, but he did look a little bit rough on the scale. At this point of his career, he has taken a lot of damage and has been in a lot of fights. He's also about 37 years old, so he's not on the prime of his career, Like a guy like Ilia Topuria, who is only 29 and has defeated 3 Hall of Famers by knockout. Now, at the face-off, Dana White did ask for both guys to not touch each other, and both guys respected the boss as they had a more respectable face-off today. One thing you can say about Justin Gaethje is that he's never afraid to fight, but as you can see in that Max Holloway fight, being not afraid to come in and fight will get you caught, and Ilia Topuria is a way more powerful puncher than a guy like Max Holloway. Ilia Topuria knocked out Volk, knocked out Max Holloway, and then knocked out Charles Oliveira. And here, I feel like he'll be able to knock out Justin Gaethje as he's about the level of all three of those fighters. You know, of course, out of two of those fighters, Justin Gaethje has already been finished by both of them. So Ilia Topuria is one of the best at this sport at finding the finishes. And here, I feel like he'll be able to devastate, unfortunately, the American crowd and get a devastating knockout. And man, what a card for UFC Freedom 250. I'm very excited for this one. On this fight card, you know, we have half of the fights that we usually have, as on this fight we only have 7 fights. But these are 7 quality fights, and even 7 fights where all fights can end by finish. So this is going to be a banger of a card. And let's go ahead and get into the best bet section. So look, here's one bet for every fight that I like for this weekend's card, UFC Freedom 250. I like Diego Lopez moneyline, Kyle Dawkins moneyline, Rufi in round 1 or 2, Josh Hokett by knockout, Sean O'Malley by knockout, Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane to go over 2.5, and Ilia Topuria by finish. If you guys want a breakdown for all my bets, I did do a breakdown video for the card, which kind of explains more as to why I picked these for my picks and bets. But you can take what you like and fade what you don't. If you do parlay all these odds together, you do get a plus 10,764. So, I mean, if you're a degenerate, you can throw a little 10 bucks or 5 bucks on that and you have a great return. But overall, I really like this card. Super excited for it. I feel like there's some really good betting spots here. I'm going to have some different bets that I personally bet on the side and things like that I like. But overall, I wanted to give you guys at least one bet for every single fight. You guys can take what you like. Now, I hope you guys are excited as I am for this card tomorrow, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be up and ready to watch all the fights. And of course, I'm going to stay up to the end to watch the main event as I'm super excited for that fight as well. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for checking in on me. As always, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your night. And thank you for tuning in into another one of my videos. Peace out.